Do you believe in Sasquatch?
Do I believe in
why or why not?
Sasquatch?
Bigfoot? Henry?
I don't know. Was he chasing us up there when we were in Gatlinburg in the top that time? People were talking about it.
I'd forgotten about that. I remember that.
How you forget something like that? Like, I'm drawn into that, and I don't even know what he's talking about. Come on now.
We had it's close to the backpacking thing, but we were, you know how you go up there, what is that, Laurel Falls or whatever it is?
Yeah.
Where we go up there.
Yanny Falls?
Yeah, and you go up above there, and you can walk up and see the big trees that you can't, get 4 or 5 people can't get their arms around. So we're up there, and they kept saying, Sasquatch is over here. Where's Sasquatch? And I'm like, what are y'all talking about? And Clay was just going on, and he was barefooted. I'm going into the
backpack
I am
story.
going to the backpack story. Yeah. So
you're barefooted?
Yeah, I'm talking about walking on rock, gravel.
I went a whole year without wearing shoes.
Oh my God!
He was one of them, Derek. Just to let you know. So
I was hiking barefoot.
Time out. The thing is, though, is I'm not entirely shocked. Like, that's the thing.
He had such a point to prove about something.
All the time.
Oh my God!
Hey, let me tell you something.
Look at just
the
here.
things that you learn about your feet is amazing. They get so tough.
Hey. I'm a tenderfoot. I've always been a tenderfoot.
Look,
Every time somebody be like, "Hey man, you don't wear shoes," there's something
There's a
welled up inside of
dissertation.
him. He's like, "Oh yeah, I don't."
No, I don't.
I hope somebody asks me about my bare feet in Kmart. I hope they do.
Did you have like a standard Do you have a standard answer like, I'm just trying to connect with God?
No, that was not it.
What was your standard answer?
I don't know. I don't really recall that many people asking me that. Truly.
Yeah, because they were afraid to ask you. They thought you were crazy.
Let me say, like.
Did you have a beard then?
No. I couldn't grow.
He didn't have that beard until like 3 months ago. What you talking about?
How old were you when you were doing this?
16.
Oh gosh.
Now, and, let me say, okay.
Now I want to ask you like things about your family.
I'm so curious.
I had to wear shoes at school. Okay, so I wore moccasins to school. I wore moccasins.
Why was this not shared on the opening episode of the podcast when we talked about like our most embarrassing thing? Was that not as embarrassing to me?
Like it was
It's so embarrassing.
Second-hand embarrassment.
It wasn't embarrassing to us.
I mean, like,
expected.
Well, y'all just got used to it. Like, that's great. Anyway,
Before we go on, what was the day you said, I'm not wearing shoes? And why in that moment did you say, I'm not wearing shoes? I mean, there had to be a day.
there had to be a reason.
I don't know. I really don't. I don't.
And then what made you put them back on?
Yeah.
It's kind of
Is that like
Forrest Gump.
I did it.
I can.
So I just stopped running. I got tired. I think I'll go home now.
I can answer why I put them back on. I can answer why.
It was a girl, wasn't it?
No.
Lord, no! If it was a girl, you'd never taken them off.
I had already been dating Carissa for a year, so I already had her. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't have to impress.
Wow, and she married you.
Yeah. I also had hair down to my.
Yep.
I have seen one of those photos.
So the reason why I put shoes back on is because most people, whenever I tell them that I went a year without wearing shoes, then they'll go to something like, "Man, I bet the parking lot was painful," and it wasn't. Like, that was not the most painful part.
So what was?
The most painful part is the winter, when the ground is unbelievably cold because your whole leg begins to ache.
Really?
Yeah. So the reason why I put them back on is because I got to another winter and I was like, I don't want to do this. So I put them back on.
The ground's too cold. I got to put shoes on.
I'm telling you, try it sometime.
No, I'm good. God made shoes. I'll wear them.
It was a really interesting year. I mean, we had fun with
Are y'all familiar with Liver King?
Yes, that dude grosses me out, man.
Oh, yeah, the guy who eats all the liver and stuff.
Yeah.
He's all jacked.
So,
Now, here's the deal.
Steroids.
There's no
Well, I've actually seen, I don't know, it wasn't with...
This is most certainly random thoughts.
But he was talking about how his kids were like on all these medications and they were sick all the time. And he starts doing this research.
That's
Huey. That's Huey. Yeah.
I agree, but I'm just saying at least he has some, like,
A
it
reason.
sounds like it makes sense. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying...
he's a character that's been created.
Yeah, I agree with that.
He's a character that's been created. They
And
do
well,
that all
he
the time
makes a
on
lot of
social
money.
media. I could create a character. You could have been like the guy that don't wear shoes for another year or something.
I actually did it. Though.
Let's do an episode of the podcast like in a character. You don't...
I don't know.
Our alter egos.
I'd like to see that.
The reason why
Or hear that.
the reason why I brought Liver King up is because he he doesn't wear shoes, and he says the reason why he does is because it's a connecting energy to the earth.
Oh yeah, he doesn't wear a shirt either because he's like related to
He
Matthew.
wants people to look at his pecs and say,
Yeah, he's ginormous. Look,
We should have had him on the workout episode.
could have reached out. Anyway,
We got a guy that doesn't wear shoes.
Sasquatch.
Sasquatch. Do I believe in Sasquatch?
You didn't want to tell the backpack story?
We kind of hit a detour there.
We detoured off that. Let me go back to the backpack story. Anyway, my wife is, she is one of Clay's biggest fans, but she's also one of Clay's
Biggest critics.
truthful critics.
Yeah, she'll keep him on track.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The sermon sucked, should say.
Yeah, she
Hey,
goes,
you can do better, kid.
you know.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we were going up through there, and of course, Clay, being barefooted, was having a little trouble with the rocks and stuff. Not that it was really a problem, but he was having a little trouble with it. And she said, "Yeah, hey, why don't you take his backpack?" And I went, "Take his backpack?" Like, where's backpack? You got shoes? It was on then. Once he handed it to me, it was over.
Yeah. This is huge story about how I couldn't walk up the mountain
and
without
all that.
Darren.
I mean, you got a guy that's 40 years older than you carrying your backpack up the.
Well, I think it's important to mention too that hiking trail
Was
is asphalt.
it was.
So
hey,
But you didn't have shoes on?
Put some shoes on.
Yeah, I was about to say they make stuff to help with that.
Flip flops.
it's also
Socks.
it's
Socks.
also-
Socks on.
again, it was also in the winter.
It was. I agree, and I kind of felt I actually felt a little sorry for Clay. I mean, I understand he was. I did.
I feel like somebody's always carrying his backpack.
Metaphorically.
Oh man, this episode's taking like a big anti-Clay turn right here.
Man, it's always anti-clay.
Ain't nothing I'd do for that boy. Right
If I could make y'all feel better by you dumping on me,
God, we appreciate you taking that for the team.
I will take it
Appreciate
for the team, man.
I didn't make Darren carry my backpack. I don't know what you're talking about.
you. And I wore shoes my whole life when appropriate. You know.
exactly.
Why don't you put some shoes in the backpack?
If it was, I think. All right,
Just in case.
this is pure honesty, okay?
Oh.
Like I'm about to be just straight up honest with you. I'm almost certain I had shoes in the back.
Oh my
I'm pretty sure you did.
Pride would not allow me to put shoes on.
Oh, but that next winter
Yeah,
it
I
was
think
gonna be
it
too
was
cold.
The moccasins were in the backpack. Yeah, I'm almost certain.
Everywhere I
Pretty sure
went,
it was.
I was running.
Because my wife was always talking about she wore moccasins a lot when she was in school, so she was
Yeah.
all the time saying,
Yeah.
"Clay's got his moccasins. Clay's got his moccasins."
What's up? Did you enjoy that clip? We hope you did. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, watch the full episode, and tell your friends about the Curiosity Experiment. Also, if you have any suggestions or topics you'd like for us to talk about, make sure to send us an email at the screen at the end. Thank you.